So here's my story when it comes to my childbirth and delivery experience. Now let's go back a bit. My pregnancy was an rather okay pregnancy up until 6 months when I started, rather I noticed sporting. So I went to the doctors, and the doctors concluded that it was as a result of overworking myself. Remember, I worked throughout my pregnancy, so I was advised to be on bed rest, and then the bleeding stopped, and I was sent for an ultrasound, of which they verified that my baby was okay. In fact, that's the first time I ever saw a plane, or rather kicking up a storm in my tummy, and it gave me so much hope. It got me so much excited about meeting her. After that, I didn't notice much of any complications. It was a smooth one. So my baby came at 41 weeks and 3 days. I was getting worried, by the way, at that time, because people say, baby girls, especially for a first-time mom, they tend to come up a little early. But then I realized it's a different experience for each and every one of us. So my labor started at 5 a.m. in the morning on a Tuesday morning, if I remember well. I remember waking up and telling my husband, I don't feel so good. I feel funny, but it's okay. I feel funny because the pain kept on coming and then going. I didn't even understand what that was, but I remember that I had lost my TMI. Disclaimer, TMI, there's going to be a little bit of inappropriate information shared on here, but it's all for educational purposes, so bear with me. I lost my mucus plug, I think about 4 days prior to my labor. So I'm telling him, I'm feeling funny, but I guess I'll be okay. And I remember that day I woke up, cleaned the house. For some weird reason, I had the courage, or rather the strength, to clean the house, clean clothes, just make sure that everything was kind of tidy. I guess some people would say that was still a part of nesting. When it got to 5 p.m. in the evening, I remember I was attending online classes, and I tuned in for my online class, and the pain was getting a little too much. I remember I had to pause a number of times just to breathe in a little, do the breathing practices. It kind of helps with that. And I continued, but when it got to about, was it around 8 p.m? And I remember this couple friend of ours were around, so they were like, we have a car, we can just drive you to the hospital to get yourself checked. So can we? And then I was like, it's okay. So we go to the hospital, and the pains are getting a little bit more intense. And we go in to the nurse's room, triage, and the nurse checks me, and she's like, you're only about 1 centimeter dilated. So remember it was 2021 corona period. We were still very keen on following the protocols. So they were like, you're only 1 centimeter dilated, and right now with corona and everything, we don't see a need for you to hang on here. So how about you just go labor at home? When it gets a little bit intense, then you can come in. I would recommend you be somewhere close by. So I remember we were still with this couple friend of ours, and my friend, now the couple friend, my best friend, Christabel, advises, okay, my home is close, and besides we have a car, so maybe she should come and labor labor at her place. I'll be able to take care of her, considering that I'm just 5 months postpartum as well, so I'll be able to take care of her. So she takes me in, and she helps me throughout my contractions. And guys, by this time I am bleeding profusely. Like, I didn't have my water break. I didn't feel a gush, as they say, to come out. No, mine was just blood pouring out. Easy? No, come, I show you something nice. Come on, come take picture with mommy. No, that's no food. That's dirty. Could you throw it away for mommy, please? Throw it away. Throw it away.
No.
Easy. So throughout the night, I barely slept, and I barely could hold on to any food. Like whenever I would take food, I would blurt it all out the next second. So I am tired, I am starved, and I'm going through this immense pain, you guys. Oh my god, labor is no joke, you guys. I felt like I was gonna lose my goddamn mind at this moment, but I hang in there because we've heard stories, we've probably read 1,000 books on this. You know, you say you are prepared, but you're never fully prepared enough for labor, guys, or childbirth for that matter. So I barely slept, barely ate, and the pain would not let me breathe. So by 5 a.m. in the morning, I had had enough. I had had enough. I was like, I'm going back to the hospital. I don't care. Just take me to the hospital. I cannot take this anymore. My friend was so patient. She was so empathetic. She was full on supportive, and I appreciate her. I'll forever appreciate her for that. So she rushes me to the hospital where her husband and my husband meet us up. So I'm taken to the nurse's room, and then they check me, and then they're like, she's dilated. She's only like 44 centimeters dilated, and I don't know, for some weird reason they tell me that they should put a catheter in. I don't know why they felt the need to do that, because I was trying to pee and I couldn't pee. I felt the urge to pee and I couldn't pee, so they put a catheter in. Oh my god, painful. So I hang on with that for a few hours and it's not working. So they're like, get it off. Ugh. And then they're like, and you we are in Kenya. Easy, mom, come take your baby. In Kenya, for most first-time moms, we are advised to go to a public hospital. By public, I mean government hospital, because they say they offer all the specialty under one roof. So in case of any emergency, you'll always get the help that you need right there and then. So I took the advice and I went to a public hospital, and they were so great, I have to admit. But they can be so reckless with their words or how they handle patients, and it can be so sad sometimes. So I'm in pain, I'm tired, like I've said, and they're telling me, oh madam, you cannot sit there, you know, you need to walk. If you don't walk, the baby will not go down, and thus you will not be able to deliver faster. So madam, get up and get walking. So I'm trying to walk, and I barely have the strength to walk because I am starving and I'm exhausted and I am bleeding. Wherever I walk, there's just a trace of blood, you know, and they're so mean, you guys. So I'm trying to walk, and the pain gets so much that I just want to scream my lungs out, and I'm like just trying to breathe, and the breathing is not working, everything is not working. I'm getting agitated, irritated at everybody, and so they call me back, and I think I vomited. Easy. I think I vomited, and one of the nurses kind of felt sorry for me or something, and then she called me to the room and she checks me, and then she's like, I think I can do something for you. And she decides, she said that she did not ask for my permission on whether she could induce me or not, but she made that decision to induce me. And guys, induction, it's not a walk in the park. That thing is painful, super painful. So she induces me, and yes, it does help in sort of like catalyzing the process.
No.
And I'm like feeling like I need to go for number 2, which means poop. So they come in, and my queue for a public hospital, majority of the time, or rather in my time, there were majority students available there, you know, so they're the ones who sort of like aided me in my birth. So they came and they're like, okay, it's time, and I managed to successfully birth my child. after that came the time to birth the placenta, or the fundal, I hope I'm saying it right, fundal massage, where they try to get the placenta out. It's a very uncomfortable and painful experience. It's even worse than the birthing of a child itself, I have to admit that. But again, I managed to do that successfully, and it was time now for them to sort of like sew me up. And again, a student is the one who sew me up, so he comes and like, oh, I'm gonna make sure I do everything right and your husband is gonna be happy, which I really did not appreciate that comment, by the way. It's not about the man at that time, it's about me and my child, so be mindful. And he sews me up, and guys, for some reason they didn't even give me any sedatives. Like, there was no pain drug or medication for me during that process. So I went through that, managed successfully, thank God. Only for a few minutes later, a nurse to come in and say, why is she still bleeding? And then they check, and then the blood is now increasing, and this kind of like worries them. So they decide to call the head nurse, which the head nurse comes in, and the head nurse is like, this sewing wasn't done right, so we're gonna have to undo the stitching and redo it again. And I was like, God, I cannot take this anymore. And I remember telling her, no, you cannot put me through this. I have been through so much, you guys, I cannot do it. And then she's like, you can, you can. When you were getting the baby, you didn't have an issue, right? So why are you having an issue now? And so, come, mommy. Sorry, guys. Mommy duties. So sorry. What happened, mama? Oh, no. And so she's like, she undoes the stitching. It's okay. It's okay, mama. Sorry. What happened? Did it hurt my baby? Oh, mommy, I'm so sorry. But now that teaches you not to touch that again. It's gonna hurt you once again. I'm so sorry, mommy. Paula? Oh, I'm so sorry, my love. It's okay. Oh. It's okay. You okay? Oh no, I'm gonna beat that thing very bad. So, needless to say, she stitches me up again without zero sedatives, and I scream my lungs out. And I remember them coming in, a bunch of them, and they were making fun and saying, oh my God, you're such a loud one. And in Luo dialect, says inlelo, which means you're so loud. And you know what, you're just as loud as your baby, because your baby won't keep quiet. She's shouting. So we better get this thing first and done with, so that you could go cater to your child. And at that time, I remember I am so tired, I just want it over and done with, and I am super excited to just meet and be with my child at that moment. So everything, she finishes sewing me up, and then she demands that I get out of that birthing table and get to the bathroom, get myself cleaned up. Mark you guys, I have not eaten nothing. I have been at this for a while right by now. I am traumatized, and I will not stop shaking for some weird reason. So I try to get off the bed and I fall. And then that time, I'm seeing everybody minding their business, and I'm like, oh, I am on my own at this moment. So I get myself up, manage to go to the bathroom, get myself cleaned up, and then walking slowly, I go to the newborns unit and I pick up a child. And guess what? I end up picking the wrong child. Mike, you remember I was told that the screaming child is mine, because my child is just as loud as I am. So I picked the screaming child, and it turns out that she's not mine. And I'm told by a nurse, rudely told by a nurse, don't you know what clothes, or rather which clothes your child had on, or the ones that you had picked on for your child? Madam, you're taking the wrong child. So I peruse around, and then I see a familiar clothing, and I go and grab my daughter, and I'm so excited, and I seem to forget everything up until the time to breastfeed my child comes along, you guys. And that is, whew, trying to get my child to latch on was a task in itself. And when she eventually latched on, that was pain, you guys, pain. But I was determined. I managed to breastfeed her, and a few hours later, I get to experience engorged breast, which is again, a rather traumatic experience. But we pulled through. Now I'm at a place where I can say I fully understand why some women go into postpartum depression and have such a hard time with postnatal care. It's because of such experiences. And during Corona, we barely had any social support, you guys. It was rough, it was hard. And I did go into postpartum. But I tried to fight it with everything that I had so that I could be there for my child. Of which I could say I successfully did, because I had educated myself on the subject, and I had the support, social support of friends and family that helped me get through it. So guys, I will tell any expecting mom or an aspiring mom to be prepared, in as much as you can never fully ever be prepared to be a parent or fully prepared to go into labor and child delivery. But I'm gonna sort of like give you an insight that will keep you, like, you be on the loop, you know. It is one of the most hardest, painful, maybe the most traumatic experience you're ever gonna have, but then it's going to be also the most rewarding experience that you're ever gonna have. When you have a child, successfully have a child, you're gonna feel like you can take on anything in this world, like you can conquer the world. So it is a risk, yes, but a satisfying, gratifying, worth it risk that you're ever gonna take in this lifetime. So I'd advise you to do it, and advise friends and family to just show up and be there for you, because you're gonna need them. You're gonna need them when you need some time to just sleep or eat, or just someone to help you with their household chores. It's good to show up and be there for your friend. You're gonna make it more fun, more enjoyable, more worthy experience. And for women who say they're not ready to have kids, I don't blame you. I understand. But everything about life is about taking a risk. So you've taken a risk in almost every other area of your life. Why not dare yourself to do this, especially if it's something that you really want someday? So it's not easy. It's never gonna be easy. But women do it every other day. And guess what? The greatest rewards come in form of that pure smile and the little milestone that you get to experience with this child of yours. Moms, aspiring moms, you guys are the real deal. You guys are indeed the unsung heroes. We appreciate you, and we can just pray to God to give you long life and prosper you in all your ways. Bye guys. That was Vicariously Learning with the Winnie Story Times. Bye.